Good evening, everybody. So I'm gonna bring something to the table here. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering how I've gotten to where I've gotten and how I've gotten so forthcoming with all of this. It's because this is something that not many people do, right? Not many people are able to be completely open about themselves, whatever it is, right? Not caring about what people have to say about them, not caring about this, just doing it so that way hopefully you can help people to get people on a better path, right? So I'm gonna bring something to the table, and I know people, a lot of people go through this, but they won't talk about it. Well, 7 years ago, I had a I had a very life changing event that came across my desk, and it came without warning. Well, let me kind of go into detail a little bit. So one day I kind of started experiencing some pain, and as time went along and things got worse and things started progressing, like I started losing one side, or I started losing my ability to speak. I started losing my ability to walk. I started losing motor skills, like it was my ability to think, and I legitimately thought that there was something seriously going on. But I let it go on probably longer than I probably should have just went and got myself checked out, like as soon as I started having the pain. But I mean, hey, getting older, we all know that things happen, right? The body changes, right? But I was 33 when this happened, and it forever changed my life. Forever. So I got off work one day. I got off work early because I had a really bad headache, really bad, like to the point to where I couldn't even open my eyes well enough. But somehow I drove home. Somehow I was able to get out of work and drive home and not have problems. But I called up a decent friend of mine at the time, and I'm like, hey dude, I think I need to get to the hospital. Something is really wrong. And so he came and he got me and so forth, because he's like, huh, well, Ross calling me to say that something's not right, man. That's not normal. So he rushed over, and we got up there. We got up to the hospital right away. And because I used the VA for my primary care, I had to drive an hour and a half to the actual hospital, where the actual hospital is, not a clinic, but the actual hospital, right? And so the whole time I'm having this. It got better over time. I drank some water and I got some fluids in me and so forth. And we all know that if you're having a headache, the best thing to do is drink some water. Maybe it could just be dehydration. Understood. That helped a little bit, right? So on the way to the hospital, my buddy blew a tire out. Crazy situation. We're heading to the hospital because I'm thinking something seriously is going on, and my buddy blows a tire. So we had to get that taken care of before I got up there. Well, needless to say, we finally got it fixed, and we finally got it up there. We finally got up there, and I got in, and I was getting looked at. I was getting my vitals, and I was getting they took some urine and they took some blood, and to check all bases, right? It could be anything. I guess nowadays they can basically basically use your blood for just about everything now. Your urine, same thing. They can pretty much use both those things for just about every major body check that you could ever want to do. Um, so the doctor came in while the nurse was still sitting there, and her and I were kind of talking and just kind of back and forth. And the nurse came in and said, "Good thing I have some good news and I have some troubling news." And I'm like, "Okay, well, great, awesome." And she's like, "Well, the good news is you're not having a stroke." Whew, awesome. Because I was only 33, and that's but usually about the time where that kind of stuff comes to par, if that's the direction of your life, kind of thing. Um, Believe it or not, that's it. Early 30s is when that stuff kind of starts to really, really kick in, kind of thing. Um, there's been a lot of people that have had strokes in early 30s, just so we're all aware. Um, she said the troubling news, though, is you have a cyst growing in your cerebellum. And I said, "What?" She said, "Yes, you have a cyst growing in your cerebellum." And she's like, "Well, we'll get you in. We'll get you some tests done. We'll get you some MRIs. We'll get in. We'll see what we got to do. We'll see where it's at. We'll see what uh, how we can troubleshoot this." She's like, "But in the meantime, I want to get you on some medical steroids to see if maybe we can knock this out. Just until we figure out what the hell's all going on with it and how it's all gonna whatever. But we'll get you in and get you some tests done. We'll get you in, get you an MRI, all that beforehand, right? I won't put you on anything until we know what the hell's what, kind of thing." And so we did. Went in for an MRI. Went in for all the tests. She did some more blood work. She took all the possible tests that you're gonna do, all the brain scans and everything. Like I spent a whole day just doing nothing but MRIs and CAT scans and whatever. And it came out that I had about a 2 centimeter cyst growing in my cerebellum, and they even showed it to me on the screen. It was right smack ass dead, almost dead center of my cerebellum. What it was is why I lost my right side instead of my left side, so it wasn't a stroke. Was on each side of your brain, right? You have a hole, and it's called your ventricle, and that's what drains the fluid from your brain down to your spinal cord, and that's what helps keep everything moving and you talking and everything else, right? That's why any injury to the spinal cord is very serious, because the fluid, right? So we got all that pinpointed, and I spent pretty much the whole day trying to get all this pinpointed, and they were very thorough, and they were showing me pictures, and they were answering all my questions and trying to give me as much information about this as I could. And they said, "Well, we don't have a neurosurgeon here at the VA. We're going to have to send you to one of the hospitals here in town, and we'll get you tested. We'll get you taken care of, right? Hopefully, it won't be any issues, and we'll go from there." We're going to take a part two.